KozMatt presents 2022 Hell in a Cell highlights. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of KozMatt's Wrestling Recap. Finally back in person, man. Matt, this feels awesome. Let's get right into 2022 Hell in a Cell.
As you can see, I'm kind of sweating because the show was just
awesome.
Every single match just sold, and I think this was honestly one of the best pay-per-views WWE has put on since WrestleMania. They kicked it off.
Awesome.
You know,
awesome.
I was happy about the way they kicked it off. You weren't so happy about it. I get it. I get why you weren't happy the way they kicked it off, and it makes sense. But they kicked it off with the Raw Women's Championship, Bianca Belair versus Asuka versus Becky Lynch. Right off the start, this match was just explosive. Asuka just trading shots with Bianca, and then Bianca trading shots with Becky Lynch. It ended, the way it ended, it just couldn't have been any more perfect. It was just executed awesome after Lynch hitting Asuka with a manhandle slam. Bianca threw her out of the ring and actually covered Asuka to retain that
championship. Yeah.
Perfectly executed. WWE, well done. So Bianca Belair is still your Raw Women's Champion, heading to Monday Night Raw tomorrow night.
Yeah, man, it was a pretty good back and forth. You know, I like that Bianca used Becky's own dirty tactics to her advantage to retain her championship.
I think so. Dirty tactics. MVP and Omos versus Bobby Lashley.
Can we talk about that rap for a second? That was pretty intense.
That was a great hype to start the match. It was a great segment.
Saying that his ECW title didn't mean shit in the rap, it was pretty funny.
The Giant, Omos taking control, Almighty not making it easy for both men. Omos throwing Bobby Lashley outside the ring through a barricade. Cedric Alexander actually tried to interfere. This was the showstopper here, the way the match kind of turned around on Lashley's behalf after MVP brushed him off backstage. And it kind of gave Bobby Lashley the opportunity he was waiting for, sending Omos out of the ring, putting MVP in the Hurt Lock for the win. MVP tapped out via Hurt Lock. Didn't make Omos really look too weak. MVP took the L for his team. So it was executed once again perfectly. Also, throughout the night, we're just going to say now, Cedric Alexander and Bobby Lashley met up. Bobby Lashley kind of said, you know what, don't mess with me ever again. But you know what, I see you're hungry. Gave him a pat on the
back. Yeah. So could we see a return of the Hurt Business minus MVP? I'd be here for it. I must say, I'm really happy that Bobby Lashley pulled off this win. It made him look strong, and Omos still looked strong because he didn't take the pin, so it was a win-win for both superstars.
It was a win-win, and now what a win-win was next. So I'm kind of scrolling down, just making sure we're in line. Ezekiel versus Kevin Owens.
God.
This match was just phenomenal. I really could not have had one complaint.
Yeah, all the matches tonight were pretty good, man. I must say, there wasn't a lot of matches, but when you filled the time with some great matches back and forth, you know, you can't complain.
Ezekiel, he was just hard throughout this match, but Kevin Owens, you know how he carries superstars. He just gave no shits, shits, and he just, the cannonball to moonsault to frog splash after dealing Ezekiel with a few super kicks. Owens finishing Ezekiel off with a stunner to pick up the win. But you know what? It was very entertaining. It was not the best match of the night, but it was very, very entertaining. You know what? That's what it matters about.
Man, Elias is not going to be happy that his brother lost. I wonder if they're going to have some heated exchanges over text message or Twitter or something like that.
I really, before you go on, I hope this just ends.
Me too.
It just needs to go.
It's kind of silly. Kevin Owens deserves to be in that main event scene, man. He sells anything, like you've said, for the past few weeks. And Kevin Owens, get the KO show back in the main event. That's what I say.
Agreed. I couldn't agree more. Kevin Owens, he deserves the world. Moving forward, we're already about halfway throughout the show.
Dude, it was nonstop action, and I love to see it.
They just kept going with this show. It was great. So we finally had, this was honestly one of the biggest matches I was waiting for, Judgment Day versus AJ and Finn and Liv Morgan. So this was a great match. Let's just say the Judgment Day, they took a win, but they got a clean win. So what I really want to talk about here is not just Judgment Day taking a win looking strong. We, of course, had the faces looking strong, too. But AJ Styles, throughout the end of this match...
Dude, he got busted open.
Busted open big time. There was blood all over the outside of the ring. Personnel had to attend to him. Meanwhile,
we were trying to figure out when it happened. They wouldn't show it in the replays, man. I don't really know when it happened. All we know is it definitely wasn't scripted, and he got busted open real bad.
The outcome was the right call. I would certainly give it an A-, an A. But let's move a little bit away from that. We still have the Judgment Day looking strong, heading towards Raw whenever you guys see this, tonight or tomorrow. So what I want to talk about next, Happy Corbin versus Riddick Moss, a no-holds-barred match.
This match was way better than their match at WrestleMania Backlash.
This
I must
honestly
say.
was one of the. I'm not gonna say it was the best match of the night. No,
way outperformed my
it was-
expectations.
It way outperformed. Moss put a chair around Corbin's neck and then slammed the steel steps onto it, kind of ending the match as Corbin, just couldn't kick out of that pinfall. And then he got taken out by a stretcher. So karma is karma, as he did
Karma's
tell
a bitch, as
Moss
they say.
a few weeks ago. So looks like Madcap Moss got a win over Happy Corbin. It looks like Happy is not so happy anymore. I hope this feud ends, and it ended at Hell in a Cell 2022, and we don't keep going forward with it. We just look back and just keep going.
Yeah, 2 notes on this match. I think this could be a write-off for Happy Corbin for a little bit on SmackDown. And I'm very excited to see what Madcap can do going forward because he really sold for this match. And I think he could be the next bruiser on SmackDown.
He got my attention. He certainly got the attention from
Yeah.
Chicago, Illinois, for that match. So let's move forward with Theory versus Mustafa Ali. Now,
We all knew the outcome.
Ali, of course, challenging Theory for the United States Championship. I really thought it's his hometown. Maybe he could take a dub.
Surprise
but
win, sure.
Nobody ever wins in their hometown.
Oh, yeah.
And
Vince can't stand it.
our predictions were both right with Theory, and of course Theory did get the win with an 8-town down. He even put Ali put Theory in an STF. It was actually pretty.
Yeah,
pretty
it looked
cool.
like he was going to tap there for a second. It definitely had us going.
It was a good, energetic performance. Ali had a huge pop, even though he didn't win that title. It feels like a mistake, but you know what? That's how WWE rolls. So this crowd was just phenomenal tonight. Theory, he gave it his all. So didn't Ali. I'm gonna give it to him. No complaints.
Oh, absolutely. I must say, we were talking about this. Austin Theory needs a new entrance because that thing is god-awful.
Now, yeah. Before we go forward to our main event,
boy.
that needs some help with.
It really does.
Yeah. So, okay, let's move forward. Main event time.
Main event,
Okay,
baby. Here we go.
I was shaking in my boots for this one.
We were
Long
hoping to see
anticipated.
somebody. We were hoping to see
Cody
somebody.
Rhodes tore his pectoral muscle, something like that. It ripped right off the bone. Apparently, that's what they were saying.
Yeah,
online.
just hours
Not
before
sure
the
if this
show.
was a work. Cody Rhodes ended up coming to the ring, took off his ring gear, and he had a big bruise over the side of his pec and kind of down towards his tricep. So, throughout the match, they got me for a second. They really did, but
As it went on, it looked like makeup was starting to wear off, and it was more of a work.
Makeup, but you know what? They really sold it, and just that little thing that they did with his chest, it
made the match so much better.
It made the match so much better. Props to WWE. They really know what they were doing, and with that, it just gave Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes.
They had a
perfect
cowbell
send-off
thing
to
at
end
this.
Hell in a Cell.
They had a cowbell thing at this one point. It was absolutely intense.
Flashbacks a little bit for Cody Rhodes if you know his past, but it was an outstanding match.
Oh,
finally,
A+.
Finally, Cody Rhodes after stomps from Seth Rollins and
They both hit a pedigree. It was
Crossroads pedigrees by both men. Finally, Cody Rhodes put an end to Seth Rollins with a Crossroads, but I was really hoping for a Bray Wyatt return.
It was a big elephant in the room. We didn't.
Seth Rollins. He even threw out tools like when they were fighting in 2019.
You and I were losing our mind once we saw that, but it didn't happen. It was a great overall night for Hell in a Cell. The pay-per-view certainly outperformed my expectations. Let us know what you guys thought about the pay-per-view. I'm just at a loss for words, man. This was just an action-packed night.
You know what? Cody Rhodes got the moment that he deserved, and he got that WrestleMania moment, but tonight was very special. He just took that W, finishing off Hell in a Cell, just kind of cheered with that crowd. Just a nice send-off as they faded to black.
Yeah, dude, if he was really hurt, I got to give him mad props for sticking that out.
Yeah.
I do think it was more of a work than anything, but still, both those superstars should not be hanging their head at all for that match that they just put on.
Well, we will have this posted to you guys
I think
Monday
11
morning.
in the morning. Yeah,
So,
something like that.
Raw is going to be phenomenal, as you guys should expect. I mean, I would think it would be a great show. The show after Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, let's hope so. Let's
Money in
know
the
what you
Bank
guys
is
thought
next.
about Hell in a Cell, man.
Yeah.
Always like, comment, subscribe. And Matthew and I will see you Tuesday for a Monday Night Raw recap. Peace out.
I can't wait, dude. I really can't.